What's up, y'all? It's Tone Space. I was just peeping this show, and it really got me to thinking. And it's always good to think. Anything, even for entertainment, let it, stir your mind into thinking of other things. Thinking of how to side box things out. You got to think how to side box things out. So I'm checking out this show, and it's about a community that's in a society on Earth, but they're sequestered from the regular world, or what's suspected to be the regular world by the casual, viewer that watches it, right? So, getting to the point, they had like a law where you're not allowed to use magnifying glasses or use more than one magnifying glass. Like you can't have two magnifying glasses, putting them together. They didn't want people to be able to zero on things and have a keener way of looking at stuff or whatever, for whatever reason. It was part of their, rules so they don't discover too much, I guess, about the outer world or just the world in general. And it really got me to thinking. I'm going to correlate that with a lot of what's going on now with nuclear warfare and all the talks about it, the dangers, what's going on in countries and stuff like that. And all of this came to me just when I was watching them talk about that thing with the magnifying glass, right? So a lot of you already heard that it's suspected. There's theories, we'll call them conspiracy theories. Yes, it is healthy to theorize that something could be a conspiracy. That's not a bad word, but enough of that. There are theories that suggest that nuclear power, or the ability for nuclear warfare and the destruction of actual nukes and stuff and nuclear bombs, that's a hoax, that it doesn't exist. You guys could look into that. I'm not saying I believe that, but I'm also not saying I'm 100% sure that that's not true. It could be a hoax, but check this out. It made me think of the game series Fallout. And you that played Fallout, even suggested by the title, it's based in a template of a world after nuclear fallout, after the bombs hit and everything else. But if you really pay attention to that series, you'll also see as a big part of the storyline is their society. It was similar to our society until like around World War II, or until I think the end of World War II, right? Meaning that what happens in the Fallout universe, for the most, happened in our real universe as well. But then at the end of World War II, the Fallout universe branched off into a different direction. And that is, they started looking into nuclear fission and how to use it for, essential things and how to use it in a productive way. They learned how to use nuclear power to do things that could help people, like to power their cars, to create robots and stuff like that, and really enhance society, right? Whereas in our real universe, we branched off more into circuitry and technology becoming smaller and microchips getting smaller and everything, right? That was what, we did after World War II. We started looking into circuitry and stuff like that. They started looking into nuclear fusion, fission, whatever. That's why if you play a Fallout game and you see the technology and everything, it looks all big and bulky because their tech never branched off in the direction of making it smaller and smaller. They got big computers and everything, yet at the same time they have things that look really advanced. Cars look like some futuristic stuff, everything like that, right? So it really got me to thinking along the lines of nuclear warfare or nuclear bombs being a hoax anyway. What if that's just suppressed technology and they're giving us this nuclear hoax, so to speak, so that we as a society and regular people and scientists and independent people could think it's taboo to even consider exploring nuclear power for certain things that could really benefit the world. Now, I know that to a degree, nuclear power is used in certain things. It's not like, it's only used for bombs. We understand that. But I'm talking about going into like deeper dimensions into looking into it. You know what I'm saying? Like actually using it. Because you might think, well, why aren't we using this nuclear power like they did in the Fallout universe? Is it impossible? You know what I'm saying? Or is it because, when we hear nuclear, we're like, oh no, leave that alone. Just like how in that show I'm talking about, don't put two magnifying glasses close to each other, even though at the point I was watching in the show, I don't know if they said it's a danger in doing that, but it was definitely unlawful. So, people didn't want to get in trouble, so they didn't want people putting magnifying glasses too close to each other. So, it really got me thinking, like if it is a hoax, could it be to suppress advanced technology that they don't want at least the mass public to know or to have, while of course certain groups of people explore it and have it on some underground stuff. Just like I'm sure a lot of people have seen those videos online of 1920s of hoverboards and all this other stuff and all this other crazy technology that uses and takes advantage of zero-point energy. It takes advantage of the stuff that Tesla was working on, being able to harness the electromagnetic energy that is all around us everywhere. Now that, some will say that's a theory. I don't think that's a theory. I think that's an actual real one, because if you look between the times of early 20th century up into the present, there's always been people that have come out with patents, like such as cars that run on water, and then mysteriously all these people die. The person that invented the water-powered car and had all the technical stuff of how to do it or whatever turned up dead. Someone else that used zero-point energy around us to do this or to do that end up dead. It's not a coincidence. There's no way that all that was a coincidence. So we do know that super-powered next-level technology that could make this world a utopia, we already know that technology is being suppressed. So when you really look at it like that, it's not a far shout to think that, yeah, maybe this nuclear thing isn't what we think it is, because we know that the operative term in nuclear power is power. And when there's power, there's corruption, and certain people might not want other people to have the power. So what would they do? They'd make us afraid of the power. So all of you guys that look into the theories that nukes don't exist or are a hoax or anything, I want you to add that I just said to your considerations and tell me what you think.